Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin. And Doug, you're in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh boy.
What is your useless but highly entertaining survival skill?
I mean, most of my skills are useless in a zombie apocalypse. I'm like,
Fact.
do you want me to edit a video for you? Do you want me to help you learn how to fire the rifle more effectively? So that it's a fun and engaging learning experience.
What's your learning style? Do you want me to cater the rifle
Right.
the rifle educational tutorial to?
Am I the guy that's like, guys, let's talk about our preferred communication styles. You know, we got Jen over here, who's more of a direct person. We've got Dale, who's more of a he's an analytical mind. We've got empath Steve,
Right.
More empathy based. Like, let's think about how we can communicate in a way that's effective to everyone.
Have you guys heard of DISC?
Joel, the child, is getting eaten by I almost said hobbit.
A hobbit?
Getting eaten by a zombie hobbit as we talk, What would be entertaining for people with what I do? I mean, I can do a belly roll. I don't know. That could be.
Do a belly roll.
Do a belly roll.
I think I know exactly what it would be for
What?
you. Would be improv.
What's that? I guess.
Like you would just sit there and do bits. Like, what's your useless but entertaining skill? I can do bits until you're tired of me.
Right. I could just do the podcast, but without recording it with people as we do watch, for the night.
We could do our live show finally.
Right.
During the zombie apocalypse.
They're like, oh, fuck, I got to be with Doug on watch. You won't shut the fuck up. I'm like, so, man, time travel. You know what I mean?
Am I right?
Am I right? Isn't it weird? I mean, really, these zombies, who would have thought it'd be these zombies? You know what I mean? Like,
Of all the canonical zombies that we've got, who would have thought that it would be?
I mean, I'm glad they're not fast-moving zombies because that just doesn't seem like it makes sense because, just the way that their bodies break down and things like that, they should be slow-moving. And eventually, if we wait this out, we should win. Because they don't live on indefinitely. That's the
right.
thing,
They will decay.
Depending where we are climate-wise, I mean, it's great. I mean, I guess it's kind of bad. We're kind of in more of a humid spot, but I mean, it lets them get bloated, and I just like, shut the fuck up, Doug. My family got eaten.
We are on watch. My family got eaten. I'm alone in this world now. Thank you.
You're like, not anymore. I'm here.
Not anymore.
Let's take notes, and we can share our notes with other people, and we can get their thoughts, Like and subscribe.
He's like, Doug's real weird, man.
Like, this is how I deal with it. I got to talk my way through it.
Say like and subscribe in the tower, in the watchtower.
If you're doing it cinematically, it cuts back and it's just like a dark outline of the tower in the night. You just hear like and subscribe,
And then you hear a gun cock and it just goes off.
And you hear, blam, like and subscribe.
I think.
How about you?
I think mine would either be it would have to be bits or voices, maybe accents.
Yeah.
Just that's so useless.
Right.
Or I don't know, maybe guitar. Like I could play Closing Time over and over again.
There you go. Yeah,
Just
I
until you're
play
done
a little
with
bit
it.
guitar. It won't be much though. It'd be
Yeah.
very basic ass shit. Yeah. I imagine them putting you to work with like trying to go into other settlements with your accents, trying to be different people.
Well,
be
I'm
a
wondering
spy.
if that's where improv actually wouldn't be a useless. I wonder if you and I they would send us out as scouts or spies. They'd be like, you guys have to go.
I think they would get to know pretty quick that these two guys are just stick out.
You and I just start cracking each other
You got
up.
lumbering
at the
me, and there's you. And like that guy. Watch out! We got the ogre and the gymnast coming towards us here. I don't know. How the hell he's a gymnast? I can just tell by the way he walks. He's got that dexterity about him.
He's got those floppy feet. Don't worry about it.
He's got that sort of thing that says, watch out, he's going to cartwheel the hell out of here if he needs to get away.
He might do a somersault. I don't know. You got to keep your eye on this one.
He might do a barrel roll. I don't know, my friend. That guy looks like he can maybe do the Iron Cross.
Wait a second, I've seen you somewhere before. We were raiding houses in the suburban.
Wait a minute.
I think I've seen a picture of you in a unitard.
I feel like, Dan, you can't say it like that anymore.
Can't say it like that anymore.
Sorry, singlet. My bad, man.
You're hitting the tard of unitard very hard, Dan. Stop.
You're leaning into it, man. It's the apocalypse, but show some respect. God damn, man.
You're doing a hard tard, okay? It's a real hard tard.
You can't do that.
You can't do
that, man.
No, we can't do the hard tard.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that about sums it up. So,
I still think that we could be useful to a point.
All right, hey, listen. You want me to move shit? I can move shit. You want me to brace something? I'll brace it with my body. You know, I mean, but outside of that, like, I can't
You need someone
shoot.
to think practical.
If you want practicality, just purely pragmatic stuff, and be like, hey, man, fuck the feelings and fuck humanity. Like, what's the most pragmatic way to go about this? I'm like, all right, let them die and seal off the doors.
Right,
Like,
you're not going to like this, but here's how we win.
Here's how we do this. I mean, I could learn to shoot. You know, I just don't
sure.
have that experience.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big dude, so stealth is out the window. You know, you want me to be like, hey, get behind cover. I'm like, get behind a tree, and like, you know, 40% of my body is still exposed. So,
But so you don't need to be stealthy if you're going in and you're trying to infiltrate another community. If your ability to yes and get you through the door at least.
I'm also a bad liar. That's the
But
problem.
see, that doesn't make sense to me, because how can you be a good improviser and a bad liar?
Well, there's stakes when you're lying to somebody. Like, if someone's
Sure.
like, I don't believe you, I'm like, uh-oh. I've been found out. Play any deception game with me, Justin. Play any deception game. I immediately get, like, I fuck
quick.
myself so many times.
That's fair.
It's absurd. Someone will just ask me a very easy question, like, what about this? I'm like, nope. And they're like, well, obviously, you failed. I played a game with Noah when we did our Mind Gap get together in real life. We were playing a game of deception, and I fucked myself on the second round. I was the second person to go. You had to assign who you want to go on these missions, and I was the spy, and Noah was the other spy, and I was like, I want these people to go. They're like, that's weird. Why would you do that? I'm like, because of this. They're like, well, Doug's obviously a spy. I'm like, no, prove it. And I was like, I left Noah out to dry, but we still won because Noah was a way better liar than I am. He sowed the seeds of discontent. He took advantage of two people who are always at each other's throats in these games, and they don't trust each other. So he just like fueled that fire. And I'm like, I swear I'm not the spy. You know, I'm like, well, Doug's obviously the spy. I'm like, fuck.
It just amazes me that I just would assume that, and I know the stakes coming into it are up there, but like when you're on stage, there's pressure, and there's in essence there's stakes on stage because you've got an audience to entertain.
Yeah, but if I'm like going into a settlement in an attempt to infiltrate, to maybe, I don't know, gather information. If I fail on stage, people don't laugh. If I fail in this situation, I die. Like,
hey, in fairness, they also don't laugh in this situation.
Very true.
You know,
very
it's
true.
kind of even.
Yeah, I love how you're trying to make me like, dude, but you can improvise. That's
totally,
the same thing as infiltrating a place and being a spy and lying to people.
We're walking up, and they're like, "Wait, who goes there?" You're like, "Can I get a suggestion for a vacation spot?"
I'm like,
wait,
Dr. Pineapple is my name. Like, why would you do that? You're like, Waka Waka. Give me a suggestion and I'll tell you who I am. Like, what?
Shoot him.
Shoot him. Shoot him now. Get him.
Yeah, they're like, shoot him. And then me with an accent, just like, I'm not with him.
I'm someone else.
Shoot that one too.
We're like, no, we're Hans and Franz, the party boys.
I am Hans. This is Franz. He does not talk.
No, I don't talk. Like, stop talking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shoot them.
Sorry. Very first improv characters we made.
Wait, was it? Did we do those?
I remember, like, we didn't like do them a whole lot, but we joked about it.
Yeah.
We're like, we're the party boys. Ooh,
yeah, which was just a blatant ripoff of Hans and Franz.
Of course,
yeah, it was
obviously.
Yeah.
Except we weren't weightlifters. We were just party boys.
We were just party boys. Yeah, German party boys. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was in level C, wasn't it?
I think
that's
it may
where
have
we
even been
started
before
doing
that.
character work.
Nah, I mean, I don't remember, but we came up with that at some point. I was like, it wasn't very creative.
We were early in our training.
On. We were just learning shit. So, real quick, I just want to say I had the best Father's Day of all time.
Happy Father's Day, by the way, Doug.
Oh, stop it. You don't have to do that. I'm not your dad.
We don't know. We haven't taken the test yet.
Real quick, I get weirded out when strangers wish me Happy Father's Day.
Do you?
I was wondering I've done this.
That. Yeah,
I've done this before. I've gone on this rant. I don't need strangers to wish me Happy Father's Day. I think it's weird because you don't know whether or not I'm a father. Like, you have no idea.
Fair.
So don't do that. I also think it's risky because if people are trying to have a family and they're struggling and you're like, Happy Father's Day or Happy Mother's Day, it's like, you don't know. You have no idea what's going on.
Right.
It's like, you just don't have to do that. This isn't like, Happy Thanksgiving, or whatever. Like, it's just don't. Just don't do it. You don't have to do that. It's weird. It's weird when people do that. If you know someone, fine. That's whatever. But if you don't, it's anyway. I digress.
I digest.
This was very sweet. I got up and I went for a walk, and I was about 15 minutes out, and then I got a notification on my phone that there was like motion at the front door from the camera, and I opened it up. Natalie had come outside from the front door, and she was like standing in the driveway. It was just like looking around for me. I'm like, what's she doing? She just had some Father's Day gifts she wanted to give me, and she was just
like, super excited to give them to you.
Yeah, she's just waiting there in her jammies, just like standing out and just waiting. And I was like, I'm gonna be gone for like 40 more minutes. Like, I'm not gonna be there.
Does she know I'm gonna be gone?
I saw Jill come out and be like, he's gonna be gone for another 45 minutes. Like, just chill. And so I did my walk. I came back and she was waiting for me, playing with roly-polies in the garden. And she came over, gave me a hug, gave me these little toys or these little gifts, and then we played video games for like 2 hours.
That's
like
awesome.
She was like, went upstairs and we played video games for 2 hours. I'm like, this is the best Father's Day ever.
Dude, that is honestly like, it's exactly what you wanted. Just time with, because you sent me, first and foremost, you sent me the new setup, and holy shit. Do you want to just describe it for those who have not gotten to see the picture?
I got a new computer, and my old computer I bequeathed to Natalie, and so now we got her a desk, we got her a monitor. It's just right over here
sitting
to my right.
Right to your right, yeah.
Just to my right. And so now we have our little setups, and we play Marvel Rivals together.
It's the coolest fucking thing.
And it's so fun. We play games, and it's the best thing in the world. I love it so much. I'm like, you want to play Marvel Rivals? She's like, do I? And then she comes running upstairs, and we just play together. It's so much fun.
It's heartwarming is what it is. It's really cool. Like, because again, it's one of your favorite people in the world, and she has interest in your favorite hobby, and you get to do it sitting right next to each other. What a gift that is. What a gift.
My favorite thing right now is in Marvel Rivals, there's a team up between Storm and Jeff. So that when Jeff is a land shark.
Got it.
He's a character I don't know, but he's like an adorable little guy. He's a healer and everything like that. But when he does his ultimate, what he does is like he swallows a bunch of people in a particular area. So if you get caught in that area, he swallows you up, and then he can, as you're in a stomach, you take damage, and he can also spit you off into a pit and kill you. So as he's got people in the stomach, if Storm does her ultimate, which basically she creates a tornado, if she goes over Jeff while she's doing that, it turns into a Sharknado. And then Jeff starts flying around in the tornado, and it just absolutely obliterates people.
That's amazing.
And so she's always like, Dad, will you play? She likes to be Jeff. She's like, will you play Storm? I'm like, all right. And then we team up, we coordinate. I'm like, all right, do your ultimate. And then I do mine, and it's just nom, 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 nom.
It's amazing to me that, and it shouldn't be because it makes sense. Kids just know this shit, but it's amazing to me that she can play that well. Because I watched you and Eric play that, and it was pure chaos. Is underselling it. That was the hardest thing in the world to watch as a spectator. Never having played it, never having like a foundation, never having had a foundation of how the game is played. It's just unmitigated chaos.
Well, it's also wild if you've never seen it before because they all have all sorts of costumes now for all the characters, so you have no idea what you're looking at.
That's
like,
very
who
true
is this?
too. Very true.
You know, because there's some wild costumes for like Wolverine, for Magneto, for all these characters. You're like, who the hell is that? You're like, oh, that's Punisher. You're like, okay. Why does he look like a Japanese guy from the 1500s with a fucking, light him up cannon? I'm like, yeah, I don't like that costume either. So, and some of them are great. You got some really classic ones in there, but yeah, a lot of them. So if you don't know, you're like, who the fuck am I looking at? What is this?
Do they have? Do they got Logan in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got Wolverine. They got some good stuff.
And you said Deadpool's in there now too.
Not yet. He will be in there
was
for
coming.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the most recent one was Ultron that got added, which was pretty cool. So
okay. Is Thanos in there?
I like him. No, I'd be curious if they added him.
That'd be fun.
It'd be fun if they did. If they got him in there.
I'm assuming the Hulk's in there.
Hulk's absolutely in there.
Absolutely.
Yes,
okay.
Hulk's in there. Like I forget how many characters they have. There's just a buttload, and they're just going to keep adding them.
They have an endless amount of characters.
Yes,
to add.
It's totally cool. But we play with bots, so we don't play against other people because I keep telling Natalie, I'm like, you don't need to deal with that bullshit. So
yes.
We've graduated to hard bots now, so
nice.
It's the hardest difficulty you can do, and so that's just her and I, and then we will play with other people on our team against bots. So the stakes are low, and she doesn't have to deal with people being assholes. So.
Nice.
Although she does have to do with people's names, and which names in that game are pretty wild. We played a game and she goes, Dad, this guy's name's Wiener Thief. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. She goes, all right. She goes, don't worry, Wiener, I'm going to heal you. As she talks.
And you're like, maybe we
I just laugh. I'm like, it could be worse.
How? It could be much worse. How? Could be hitting those hard tards. It could be worse.
Yeah.
How is she dealing with other? If it's just the two of you playing against bots, where's these other players coming from?
Oh, so you can do a mode that is versus bots. It's basically like practice mode.
Yeah.
And you can get up to, 6 people total. And you play against bots. That's basically
so you have other people on your outside people on your team.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes. And then, because that way I wanted to do, originally we were just doing custom games where it was just her and I. Mm-hmm. But when you do custom games, you don't you can't complete the missions that earn you like currency or unlock costumes and things like that. So I was like, if we do at least with the practice with the bots, she unlocked a Hawkeye skin the other day by doing all these missions, which was pretty cool. So I was like, I want to at least get credit and like level up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because as you do that stuff, you earn experience. Not as much as if you did like quick match against other people, but you can earn that sort of stuff. So I'm like, I wanted to see some progress at least. So, but it's super fun. And she also has played with Eric and Seth. She goes, can your friends play with us? I'm like, if they're on, I'll message them, but I'm not going to be like, guys, you want to play against bots with my daughter? Like, they'll do it if they're like, yeah, I got to hammer out some of these missions. Why not? But I'm not going to be like, hey, every time you're on, do you want to play against bots? I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's also, you're going to win. So
yeah.
On hard mode, you're going to win.
When you guys come up to visit, can you bring your whole PC setup, Doug, so I can play? Can you please bring your whole PC?
Just whole thing?
Thank you.
I would love to see you play that game. Holy shit.
It would be, again, I would die so quick because I wouldn't know. I feel like I've hit the age now because you have played consistently. I feel like I've hit the age now where I'm like, where am I? Where's my character?
This is a game that I did not want to play, but I saw Noah playing it. I'm like, all right, I'm in. And I got in early, so now I have a good feel for it.
Sure.
I convinced Sam to download it.
Sam Cook?
He uninstalled it after the tutorial. Part of the problem is the tutorial's with Black Panther, and he's one of the hardest characters to play in the game.
Okay.
I had the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to be terrible at this game. Natalie was watching me play the tutorial. I'm like, I fucking suck at this.
Yeah.
Because his mechanics are insane. I was like, why would be Punisher? He's the easiest guy to play in the game.
Yeah.
You're like, no. Do this thing where you have to throw the spear. You have to zip forward, zip back. It's so discombobulating. I was just like, Sam's like, yeah, man, I didn't get past the tutorial. I'm like, I don't blame you.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to share that. I thought it was fun.
I love it.
It was a good Father's Day. I was like, I don't need gifts. I just want that. And that was perfect. It's exactly what I wanted.
You've hit that point where you're like, I don't need gifts. I just need time.
Yeah. I just like, Joe and I have talked about this. I'm like, what are we going to get each other that we can't always just get on our own?
Right.
Like, so this year I was like, can we just dispense with like really doing gifts and stuff for our birthday? Because I'm like, I was having a hard day on Friday from work and stuff. She made me a Doug Cutery tray. So she got me some summer sausage, a couple different cheeses, and some Ritz crackers. I'm like, this is all I needed. Thank you. Thank you.
A Doug Cutery.
She goes, here's some dots. Here's some hot tamales, and here's some Mike and Ike's. I'm like, I fucking love you.
Wow.
That's all I need.
Does someone know you or does someone know you?
Don't need anything else.
Right.
Thank you very much. I'm good to go. It rejuvenated me and I was able to continue on with my day. So
That's
it was the
adorable,
best.
by the way.
It's the fucking best.
Yeah.
So, but you know what is the worst?
What's the worst, Doug?
I'll tell you what's the worst is the idea that, you know, these cool fictional jobs that exist in fictional universes are the best. But you know what? They would fucking suck in real life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about the best fictional jobs and why they'd suck in real life.
Boo!
Boo!
I mean, God.
You know what I mean? You're like,
I had it. I don't know why I didn't play it, but yeah.
I beat you to it.
You did.
I beat you to it.
I don't know. He might like the job. I don't know.
You're like, I don't know. Just leave it there. I don't know. Anyway,
Before we get into this, speaking of fictional jobs, one thing that just always drives me nuts, and I'm not the first to comment on this, but like the standard rom-com, these people have the best jobs in the world. It's always
like
some
what?
like super fulfilling creative job. Like you're the editor of a magazine, or you're a sports. I don't know. Like you're doing something, and I'm like, every time I watch one of these, I'm like, that's an impossible.
An ICE agent.
No one. You're an ICE agent. Oh, what a fulfilling job.
Just separating families and sending them off to places they're not from. That's the best jobs in the world.
Nothing warms the cockles of my heart like that.
Right? Wow, I want to fuck this guy. You know. Look how much he doesn't care for other humans. And he's wearing that mask, so I don't even know if it's really him.
Give me a real rom-com where someone just hates their job. Like they're this far away from putting rocks in their pocket and walking into the pool. That's the kind of thing I want to see.
Damn.
Sorry.
I had
a tough day today.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, hey, do you want to talk about it?
Nope.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's
So bad jobs, cool jobs that are going to be shit in real life.
Cool jobs on screen, but in real life, you're like, wait a minute, this would kind of suck. Kicking it off with a big one, Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
Seems like a really cool idea, right? You get a lightsaber, which, by the way, on its own, fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Just the idea that we're going to teach children how to use these. I'm like, one wrong slip up, and you're fucking cutting yourself in pieces, man.
Think about yourself as a child.
I'm watching Natalie swing a fucking bat in softball, and I'm like, she hit herself in the shin the other day because she was swinging it weird. And I'm like, imagine if that was a lightsaber.
A lightsaber. There you go.
Yeah, just gone. Yeah,
you don't have
absolutely.
a leg to stand on.
So that by itself is just like, okay, it's cool, but it's like, that's fucking dangerous, all right? You've got magical powers, right? That's pretty cool.
Cool.
But what is really the job of a Jedi Knight? You're basically like a celibate monk.
Yeah.
You know? You can't, it's like, hey, don't get emotional.
Right.
Don't feel your feelings.
Right. Suppress your emotions. Never have any desires.
You cannot, you can't get mad.
Nope.
You can't get sad, can't get afraid. You have to master your emotions all the time. And also, what are you really? A cop, kinda?
Right.
Like,
where's your authority stem from?
Right? You're an arbiter of fucking trade disputes.
Sure.
You know, like, you're some sort of like half between like,
you're not making
cop,
laws.
You're like a cop, a diplomat.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, an enforcer to some degree, but you can't get out of line.
Right.
Because if you do, then you're a bad guy.
If you feel your feelings, you're a bad guy. And then there's always, it's funny because they use fear. They say fear is the path to the dark side, but then they use fear to keep you in line. Because they say if you feel fear, then you're going to go to the dark side. So, don't be afraid.
I'm sure some Star Wars nerds going to be like, no, they just know how to master their emotions. I'm like, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
You're to be like, I'm feeling fear right now. Don't give into it. That sounds exhausting.
Right.
Like, what a horrible existence to just be like, I just have to master this at all times. I can't be angry or whatever because then, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
No.
And then also it's just the growing, you know that there is your counterpart out there. You know that there's a Sith out there somewhere, 2 Siths out there somewhere, because there can only be 2 at one time.
Yeah.
So you've just got
just
to
like my prom night.
Boom. So you've.
I'm sorry. I meant.
Doug got a new sound on the
I got a new button.
So, but no, you're always going to have that paranoia You're always going to have to be looking over your shoulder because you know that your antithesis is out there.
I'm gonna come.
Yep. I gotta stop now. I just think, yeah, it's and also
it's a life of paranoia and celibacy. Who wants that?
Yeah, and because like, are they allowed to have kids?
I don't think so. I think so. I think that's why Anakin had to hide what he was doing with Padme, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like a no-no. Yeah,
also,
it just seems
he
like
was way younger.
Yeah.
That's why he had to hide
true.
it. Padme would have gotten in trouble.
It's like, wait a minute. Padme might go to jail. Space jail.
Jail.
Yeah, I don't think that would be it. Yeah, it's like watching a professional sports show. Jesus Christ.
You want to try that again?
Sports show. It's like watching football. You're like, man, look at that guy. He catches the ball. He made a touchdown. Wow, he fucking killed it. You have no idea all the work that went into him being able to be in that moment.
Right.
To be able to catch the ball, be on the team. Like the amount of, you just see all the glory of that stuff.
He made,
right.
His body's never not sore.
Right. Like just his nutritional like stuff, how much he's working out all the time. You're just like, I want to be that guy. I'm like, do you? Can you handle it? Because it's going to be really hard. Same thing with Jedi. I'm like, I want to be able to mind control people and use telekinesis, heal wounds and use this sort of like, do you? Okay. Well, here's what you got to do to be that. So
it's no different than looking at, you talk to anyone. You talk to Gerard Butler when he trained for 300. You talk to Hugh Jackman every time he's got to get back into Wolverine. Chris Pratt, like name one of the superheroes,
miserable.
And they're like, there's a reason that people don't exist like this 24/7, or those who do have a miserable life because this is
a
just
miserable existence.
Horrible. I remember Gerard Butler saying when he was training for it, he goes, "I'm going to enjoy this because I will never look like." He's like, "I know for a fact I'll never look like this again. So this is it for me. I'm going to enjoy this."
Right. He's like. Take pictures of me because this is all you're going to get.
Do we have it on celluloid? Good. Now I'm going to get fat.
All right, now I'm going to go eat a pizza.
Yeah. But everyone wants it. Like, oh, man, I want to look like Hemsworth. I'm like, do you understand how regimented he is? Also, do you also understand a lot of that is natural? Like, you don't have that in you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great clip of an MMA guy, I think, like after a fight. He's like eating a slice of pizza, and they're like asking him about, staying in shape. He's like, being fit sucks. He's like, no, man, I want to be able to eat pizza. He's like, fuck that shit. I don't want to eat. I don't want to be fit all the time. Who wants to be fit all the time?
Right.
That's a misery. Anyway, that's the Jedi. They suck in real life.
Absolutely. Other one that would suck is being a Ghostbuster.
For sure.
Absolutely. Because you think, oh, cool. I get to wear the plasma pack. I don't remember what they're called. Photon. Yeah.
Photon packs.
Photon packs. You get to ride around the car, live in a firehouse, and you just get with your buddies all day and you get to go bust.
Already going to say, don't like any of those things. So continue.
No? Okay. You get to
don't like any of that.
You get to get blowies from a ghost. Come on.
In your dreams. Yeah. Why not? Sure.
But,
you're basically a pest control person, and not knocking pest control people. I fucking respect the fact that there's people out there that are like, I have no problem with these animals and I'm willing to go in there and eradicate them. Like I top respect for that, But this is just a whole different level.
Yeah. In real life, you're also working with like all of the stuff they're using is highly radioactive.
Yeah.
You tell me you're not going to develop cancer?
It's incredibly dangerous. Not to mention, it's like you don't know what kind of ghost you're dealing with.
No, yeah.
And not only that, when they do shit, they do the insurance that they must fucking have is probably through the roof. Because
how do you even insure it? I don't know.
I don't know, but they blow shit up all the time.
Yes.
With their things and whatnot. Not to mention, like, you have no idea what kind of hazards there are when you get that ectoplasm on you. Like,
Absolutely not.
What does that do?
Did you get it in your mouth? I hope not.
Yeah, it's not good.
Did Slimer go through you? Well, guess what? Now you have a tumor.
Now he's in you.
Now he's in you. Yeah.
It's a tumor, and it's also a baby.
Let me ask you this: why did the things that I listed at the top, though? Why were those already big old no-nos?
You're like, ooh, I get to drive around in a hearse. Oh boy, in New York City traffic, yay!
There it is. There, I was like, there's got to be more to this.
And that siren sucks, man. You
don't like that siren?
No, I don't. I really don't.
What if every time you turned it on, it just blasted the theme song?
I also get real sick of that real fast. I'd probably go with the theme song as opposed to the siren, but still I'd be like, this sucks.
You don't
know?
want to live in a retrofitted firehouse, Doug?
No.
No?
Absolutely
with
not.
With your buddies? No?
No.
Okay.
That place is barely up to code, and you know it.
That is accurate.
They bought
accurate.
that shit for cheap, and it's barely livable. Not to mention, I don't want to wear that shit around. That's too much responsibility having that stuff, and be like, all right, turn it on, and also don't cross the streams.
Right.
You know. Yeah, again, and just go. What are you doing? You are busting ghosts. Like you're fighting these creatures, which also just all of a sudden that's a whole new reality unto itself. Like ghosts are real.
Well, that's the thing.
It's not just squirrels.
Yeah, let's talk about that. This never existed prior to these guys,
Right.
or it did exist, and it just wasn't to the level. Because you could argue that it got worse because they were around. It's the Batman argument.
That's not true. That's not true.
What do you think?
Was Gozer that was pulling them in. Gozer was making it happen.
All right, I'll allow it.
I don't align with Dickless over there. Saying that they're the reason why it's happening. As Gozer was summoning all the ghosts and making it happen. So I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with fucking big old demon dogs.
Well, and also, I mean that, but then you go to like the street level side of stuff. It's just the political, like because you're gonna have political parties coming after you. Whatever whatever side.
What sort of regulations are going to be put in place?
Just having
and
to
then
go
you got,
through the
and then
red tape.
eventually, if it's going to be bad enough, you're going to have competitors.
The
you know what I
bureaucracy.
mean?
Exactly. Yeah, capitalism's going to sneak in there.
Yeah, right.
Going to ruin it.
And then it's just going to be like going to school, learning how to bust ghosts and just all that sort of shit. Because if it's that bad, I mean, what does that mean, man? Just like
because they're just doing New York
existentially.
You telling me that the rest of the world doesn't have ghosts? They're just covering New York,
right?
What happens?
The tri-state area
right.
is under their purview.
What happens when it's in Chicago or Dubai?
And then does the licensing change based on where you are?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The permitting, and all like that. You're not killing the ghosts; you're just storing them.
Right. So who's paying for that energy bill?
Who's in charge of containment? Is that a separate group altogether? Yep. I don't know, man. Talk about the bureaucracy.
Are mind numbing. No, thank you. Hard
pass. Let's talk about a Hogwarts professor. For one, you're in a world created by a. Sorry, that's gonna. That's funny. Yeah.
All right.
You're in a world
I know where
created
you were
by
going. Got it. Okay.
A dusty turf.
Yep.
And so that by itself sucks. But we've established many times that being in the world of Harry Potter sucks.
Yes.
But especially at Hogwarts, like you're dealing with a bunch of shit kids who are constantly fucking around with magic.
Look,
like,
8th graders are already the worst by themselves. Dude. Middle schoolers are horrible creatures, and now you're gonna give them magic. That seems
Natalie
like a
tells me
nightmare.
all the time the dumb shit that the boys do in her class.
Bingo.
They moan in class. I'm not gonna click it, but they moan in class, and all the time they're always going, I'm like, what?
Ooh.
I was actually playing. There's a band called Uwu, and when we were in my car the other day, Natalie goes, "What's UWU?" I go, "Oh, it actually stands for Uwu." She goes, "Oh, the boys say that all the time." I always go, "Uwu." She goes, "What's it mean?" I go, "Let's not talk about it. Like we don't need to."
It's annoying. Don't worry.
So you got just imagine that mentality, but then they have wands and they're learning how to do magic, and they're going to use it irresponsibly. We see it in the movie, and I'm 100%. Like, that's pretty low key for what we think they're going to do.
We saw it in a PG-13 setting. These kids are not going to play in that world.
No, absolutely not. I mean, kids absolutely are going to get expelled for doing wild and crazy shit. And if you're a professor, I think being a teacher unto itself is challenging, but just now throw in magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw in magic, and not to mention, kids probably die. I mean, they do die. They talked about that. They're like, oh, the last time, this fucking serpent came out.
Right.
In the, the secret chamber.
It's again,
Chamber of Secrets.
That serpent came out of a secret chamber.
Came out of the secret chamber.
Ugh.
Yeah, really, it's just an allegory for other things. But like, they're like, oh yeah, the last time this happened, kids died.
Yeah.
What? And they're like, we keep sending kids though, because as a teacher, you keep like, there's a troll in the dungeon. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, don't go into the dark woods that are right on the school grounds because there's spiders, centaurs, and other horrible shit.
Forest? Don't go into it.
Forest? Yeah.
And then just the Weasley twins alone.
Oh yeah.
They're prime examples of, again, PG-13 versions of what you're going to get. It's going to be that. It's not just those two. It's a whole class of that.
Right.
No, thank you.
They're like these chaotic neutral kids who are just like, woo, you know? Not to mention, then you got fucking kids trying to bring in all sorts of You're living in a world where there's Dementors and shit. And like, can you imagine being there that you're like, just so you know, the Ministry of Magic is now stationed Dementors around the school. I'd be like, what are we doing? Why? Well, someone broke out. Okay. This is terrible. I don't want to be here. How are we supposed to teach under these conditions? This is insane.
Yeah.
You know? You got a headmaster who's like, I like to break the rules. You're like, I don't think we should. I don't think we should have that sort of cavalier attitude when we have other people's kids at our school. Well, I mean, what's the insurance for this place? What sort of wizard insurance do they have to pay for liability? Kids died there, and they're like, we'll keep the school open.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll just, you know what? We'll do a sleep-in.
Yeah.
Well, in the grand hall.
They literally show them what. They literally show them the death curse, and they're like, "This is illegal. Don't do it." I killed the spider, but don't do it. They're like, well, I know how to do it now. Like, oh, this is the torture curse. This is the mind curse, like whatever, the mind enslavement. We're just gonna show them how to do it, but like, don't do it. But they're unforgivable.
You promised. You signed a. I will.
Don't do drugs, kids. What do? They do fucking drugs. You know. You know they're gonna go out and they're gonna grab some sort of toad and be like, "Do it, dude." Like, Avada Kedavra. You know, like
you're all wearing purity rings. You've made a promise to us and yourselves that you won't use these curses.
You know, the school code states that you will not be using any of this stuff in a nefarious fashion. You've signed the honor code. So you will be held accountable by your council of your peers. So please, fuck that. No way. I do not want to be a teacher. I don't want to be responsible for that shit. Hell no. Absolutely not.
Speaking of teachers,
the fuck out of here.
Another one that I thought of when I was a kid, I was like, yes, this is it. This is what I want to do. Indiana Jones. Just being Indiana Jones.
Just going into foreign countries and stealing their artifacts and their history and bringing it to a museum.
That seemed like something
punch him in the face.
A cis white guy should be doing. So, yeah.
Right?
Punching him in the face. No, just the idea that, you're this rugged adventurer and you got no fear except for spiders and yada, yada, yada. But snakes, sorry, that's right. Spiders were fine. Snakes. But then you sit there and think, and you're like, most of your career, most of your time is spent in a classroom in a stuffy college trying to fight off horny like late teens, early 20s, people. Like, it's just, you're not doing much. You're just teaching. You're just sitting there teaching. I'm like, they paint this grand adventure, but I'm like, his life, all in all, pretty boring.
Not only that, he is an incredibly boring person. Like, can you imagine a guy being like, oh my God, it's the statue of Montezuma. This was back in the AD, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, the fact that people, that was just Lucas's, like, someone was like, hey, man, can you do me a solid?
Yeah.
Can you make archaeologists seem like hot and like desirable?
Right.
Like, can you pump us up a little bit?
It was his,
like,
college roommate. He was an archaeology major. And
yeah.
He's like, hey,
can we just
George?
man, it'd be great if like the girls just fawned over me a little bit, know? And it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think people are like, oh man, tell me about all these arrows you stole from this fucking tribe in Africa, you dick, you colonial asshole,
And then you're just dealing with way too many Nazis. Like, who wants to deal with that many Nazis? And it's just you're surrounded by too many.
Well, not only that, like he's finding supernatural shit that melts people's faces. Like
don't open your eyes, Marion. Close your eyes. How do you?
Yeah.
Lucky guess. What if that didn't work? What if they still came in through your nose?
You gotta deal with Kali Ma, guy trying to rip your heart out of your chest to deal with that, to steal stones and shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
seems like a miserable.
Most of the things that he goes through, I'm just like, yeah, it seems pretty awful. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to deal with all the rats and the sewers of Venice. As you're trying to find the map from the tomb of the. I've seen these movies too many times.
I know.
I agree with you.
I have too.
That job sucks.
Totally
sucks.
Despite me getting the spiders and snakes things mixed up, I have to.
Yeah. One I want to really talk about, because this one really got to me, was game show host in the Hunger Games.
All right, there we go. He seems happy. He seems like he's enjoying his job.
Game show host, you're like, cool. You're like, for the Hunger Games. You're like, ugh. Like, those two guys that do that in the movies, like, they're obviously super into it and everything like that, and they put a coat of paint on it that makes it seem like, oh wow, this is entertainment, this is great. You are literally giving play-by-play commentary as kids murder each other or die and suffer in an arena.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just like, ooh, that's a tough one. Or like they even show it in the movie where they're like, you remember last year, 2 years ago, in this final scene when this kid beat this kid's head in with a brick? God, that was great. You know,
Right.
like
How riveting.
just
riveting.
I'll never forget the suspense as he beat his brains out. Like, what the fuck?
So lucky surprise for our studio audience, we have the survivor in for an in-studio interview.
And we're going to talk to them now via satellite. Hello and welcome. Tell us about that time you beat that kid's skull in. You know,
Remember murdering a child, a fellow child?
You're just watching kids get eaten by animals and you're just dying from disease and all sorts of
And
stuff.
you have to
you're
put on the biggest, brightest smile, no matter what you see, and you have to be like, and we'll be right back.
Imagine all those announcers who go, goal for soccer games, but instead they're doing that for child murder, you know? Like, oh my God, he did it! The underdog! Oh my God, he stabbed him in the back with the scythe! Who would have seen it coming? Who would have seen it coming? No one would have called it! You know, just going, or the guy who's like, all right, we're doing the odds on all the tributes today. Right now, you're over under. You know, the guy who's like doing the sports betting.
Yeah.
You know, but it's for the kids. You know, like, you know, or you're doing your fantasy Hunger Games like stuff.
Kevin Hart just does a commercial for DraftKings Hunger Games
Yeah, it's like
edition.
DraftKings, but for fucking Hunger Games. It's like, get in now, man.
You
gotta get them.
You know, and if you brought that into reality, there will 100%. That'd be on, was it Sportsbet, DraftKings, what?
100%.
Yeah, exactly. All the.
If you're gonna monetize it, of course there's gonna be betting. You can bet on anything these days. Like anything.
Absolutely.
What color the Gatorade's gonna be, you can bet on when they dump it over the coach. So
Right.
it's like, it's insane what's in there. But that would be awful.
It would be
to be like,
right.
just play by play, calling it just
Because you can't, if it ever gets too much for you, you can't really say anything. You've got to play the political game because your life is in theory on the line. You're under the thumb of the regime, basically.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Absolutely. And you get to meet these kids before they go in. You get to talk to them. You get to see
Right.
them.
You
shake
form
their
bonds
hands.
with you see that they're people, right?
Yeah, and you're like, cool, that's great. And then you're put on the show, and then they fucking die. Only one of them makes it out alive. And you're like, ugh, I talked to all of them, and now they're dead. Like, just to be able to be in the world where you're enjoying that,
Yeah.
the amount of trauma you're compartmentalizing is just tragic. Just tragic.
I think I want to do one more here, unless you have got a one you really are itching to. But you had the Dream
show me what you
Architect
got.
from Inception, and that made me think the Dream Lord from Sandman. I think being the Dream Lord, again, sounds, you're like, whoa, I get to control dreams and nightmares. I get to be one of the endless. I get to have, all this power, and I get to control, help influence people's subconscious. It seems very, very cool. But man, what a horrible existence. As we've seen in the comics, what a horrible existence that man had.
Just to be an endless is awful because you're just endless.
You're
sucks.
endless, yeah. But you've got it's
I want to die sometimes.
exactly, yeah. But just soul crushing weight, moral weight of like everything that you're dealing with. Plus, you're seeing the deepest, darkest recesses of people's minds. That has to take a toll on you because some people can get fucked up, and then you've got some real gnarly enemies coming at you. You've got Lucifer that you have to contend with. Not fun.
I mean, allegedly.
Well, I mean, unless you bring him cocaine, then a lot of fun.
It's a big responsibility, and
Huge.
You have to craft the nightmares, and everything has to have a purpose.
Yeah. And you're constantly having to come up with new ideas and iterate.
And there's a lot of things you're contending with, different entities and stuff that are infiltrating and could possibly disrupt things. And, one of the things that, Dream does deal with, Morpheus, all of his different names he deals with, is just that he understands humanity very well, but he also becomes kind of numb to it. That's kind of the thing, is he's a bit emo, is that he's like, oh yeah, we'll kill this person if it means it saves.
Right.
All this sort of stuff. You're like, how can you say that? He's like, I mean, all existence, this one person, fucking kill him. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
But there's also a great moment where he's in one of his conversations with Hob, who becomes like an immortal, and he meets with him like every 100 years. There's a point where Hob has gone into the slave trade, and he tells Dream this, and Dream's like, that is a really despicable way. He's like, you shouldn't do that. And like Hob's kind of like annoyed at him. He's like, that's not a good thing to do, trade people that way. But like that's the thing that Dream sees and witnesses from humans, and things like that. Death wouldn't be much better.
No, because you're
ferrying people to the other side.
ferrying people, and then you've got to go like that one scene where the baby dies, and Death has that. You know, it's you got what everyone gets. You got a life.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's like
just have to be that. Like it is what it is.
although there's something to be like, I'm going to be the kind being that ferries them on, because Death in that universe is not scary.
No, takes the form of whatever comforts you.
Exactly. She's very good at bringing them to the other side and things like that. But that also suck. It'd be like, just people are like, I don't want to go. It's like, nobody wants to go. Fucking come on. Get over here.
I get it, but you're going.
Nobody does. Come on.
Right. Unless
Quit
you're hot,
whining.
and you can just
but
say,
my wife. Fuck your wife. Let's go.
This is where Practical Doug would take over a little bit.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say.
Your wife? Oh, go back in. Go back in. Oh, you know what? I'll give you more time. You will? No. It's like when people argue with the ref, and the ref's like, you know what? You're right. You were right.
Oh, I was?
Reversing the call. Let's reverse the call. This guy complained. Let's give it back to him. Yeah, let's do that.
This is your, anything else? Can I give you a foot rub? What else do you need, honey?
Yeah,
What, do you
what
need,
else would you
sweetheart?
like? Do you want $100 when you go back to your body, little baby? You know,
I would love to see you as Death. Now I'm all in on this.
I would be like really like sad at first, and then I would get annoyed.
Very annoyed, very quick. And you're like, I got to do this forever? Oh, fuck.
Forever, endless. And it's just like all day, every day. That's all you're doing.
Yep.
It's just
a lot of
ferrying people to the other side.
A lot of people die.
Yeah,
A lot of people die.
a lot of people, they're dying.
If
Tell you what,
if you're going to learn one thing from this episode, it's that a lot of people die.
people are dead.
People are dead.
Sorry about it.
Sorry.
Woo! That was fun. Hey, let us know what you think. What's a fictional job that you think would be the absolute worst in real life? YouTube.com/MindGapPodcast. In the comments, hit us up, or link in the description to our Discord. During the conversation there, let us know. We'd love to hear all about it.
Fun on paper, horrible IRL.
That's right. Let's do a speed round real quick.
Yeah?
All right?
Okay.
Would you take the job? All right.
Okay.
And this is just like yes or no, short reason.
Got it.
Okay. I don't know what that one means. Jurassic Park security guard.
Yes, in the beginning. No, after I saw what happened.
That's not how this goes.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Both.
Well, but they reopen the park, and then presumably they have security guards there. Why would you take that job?
Yeah, that's a hard no.
No.
Like, absolutely not. Oh, there's real live dinosaurs here? Fuck you. No.
I don't need, you know what? I'm going to go work at Baskin Robbins. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Middle Earth Innkeeper.
I would say yes.
I think that could be fun.
You know?
It's like you're...
It's not a guarantee you're going to see shit. It's just, you know, you might see shit. You might have some interesting stories.
Depending on where it is, you could also just like hear a bunch of really cool stories and meet a bunch of cool people.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a yes for me.
That's pretty neat. Mario Kart Racer.
Pass, hard pass, hard pass.
Yeah, I was like, I hate driving.
No,
so
I hate driving, and also they're just mean to each other. I don't want that.
Just constantly, God help me. Like, I'll never be getting the blue shell because I'm never going to be in first.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to deal with all that shit on the course. Rainbow Road. Fuck you.
No, you're
Get
just
outta here.
dealing. You're living in a world of road rage. Fuck that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Let's see here. Time Variance Authority Agent from the Loki show.
You know, again, it's one of those where it was good when it started. Like, they were all happy in their jobs, and then shit really went south. So knowing
Were
what
they
I know
happy?
now, I don't know. It
Were
seemed
they
like
happy?
were.
They're fucking annihilating different existences.
And
like,
they seemed good with it
because
it was
they
part
thought
of the
it was for a
divine plan.
purpose.
Right.
Right. But still, man, that's like Hunger Games announcer to some degree where you're like, I got to go sever this reality.
Right.
With actual people in it.
I'd have to see for some of these, you'd have to be like, can I be a zealot? Can I be this like if not, like if I'm me, I'd be like, nah, I don't subscribe to your religion.
Even if it's
No.
for the right thing, I think that would just wear on you. Being like, this makes
Yeah.
sense, but I gotta eliminate this reality.
I could see that.
Suck. Stark Industries intern.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome. Yes.
because you're an intern. There's not a whole lot going on. You maybe get to see some cool stuff. Like,
Yes.
it's probably good on your resume.
Absolutely. If I were smart enough, yes. I would never get the job, though.
All right. Oompa Loompa union rep.
No, hard pass. That's just too much for that job. There's too much paperwork. There's too much. Also, most of your people have been kidnapped by this guy. How'd you form a union?
Yeah. I love it because, like, I think in the prequel, they're like, oh, he saved us, so we will continue to work for him forever.
There it
It's like,
is. Yeah, you're retconning a little bit.
That's what we call whitewashing history. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Okay. Heading on to our game segment.
I'm excited
before we
for
wrap
this
things up. I played it last time with Noah, and I had so much fun. I was like, I got to put Justin in the seat. Justin, did you listen to that at all?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I did.
So you have an idea of how it works. If you didn't hear last week, we're going to be playing Patch Notes Real Life Edition. And essentially what I have is we're pretending that real life is like a computer game, and I'm going to be presenting Justin with patch notes, adjustments to life. And Justin is going to have to listen to that, and he's going to have to decide whether it's a good thing and tell me why it's a good thing, or he's going to have to rip it to shreds. Like, boy, what are these devs doing? These idiots, these fucking morons.
You spent your time on this?
So, here we go. Here comes the patch note. Patch note 14.0.0. Your favorite song now plays every time you successfully parallel park.
Such a random one. Yeah, I think that's a solid one. I think that's absolutely.
I think you got to reward yourself.
I think that's
for nailing that.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is, I was thinking about how often do I parallel park? Because if it was every time you parked, hard stop, then I'm like, I'm gonna get sick of that song. It's a nice in between parallel parking and parking in a parking lot or pulling into the driveway. So I would say that I don't do it enough to where I think it would get annoying.
Yeah,
and also
I think
there's nothing on there that says that the favorite song can't change.
Oh, of course.
It's
just, I assume it's like your favorite song of the moment.
Right.
It kicks on.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, yeah.
I 100%. I think that would be amazing.
I think it'd be really fun. That's cool. All right.
I'll tell you this. People in Grand Rapids, people in Michigan would never fucking hear that song because none of them can parallel park. But it was this person who had like a two-door sedan, like a small little car in a spot you could have parked a boat in, Doug. And don't park a boat there. And well, yeah, no, because that's a depreciating asset. But
that's right.
3 tries, this person, 3 tries, and finally, I just went around. I'm like, good luck. I can't with this right now. I can't. I gave you a chance. This is too much. Be here. I was so angry. I thought of you. Go ahead.
Because the key word in this is when you successfully parallel park.
Yes.
So you have to do it correctly.
Oh, I'm so angry.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Patch note 14.0.2. All pillows now remember your dreams and recite them during thunderstorms.
Wait, say it again. All pillows remember your dreams?
All pillows remember your dreams and recite them during thunderstorms.
During thunderstorms? No, that's a horrible idea. What were the developers thinking? What were they thinking? I have had
What's wrong with this?
Well, first and foremost, there's nothing soothing about that during a thunderstorm. You've got your pillow just jabbering in your ear about what you dreamt of and had no control over. Heaven forbid it was a horrific dream.
We don't remember so much of our dreams. At least they could fill you in on what's going on, right?
But
then
is it talking in Gilbert Gottfried's voice, or what's the voice it's talking in?
You know what? I don't know. You choose. You can choose whoever you want it to be.
Oh, no, it's horrible. God, it's awful. Not a chance in hell. Because all I'm thinking is some of the worst dreams that I've had. I don't need those recited back to me.
What about some of the best dreams you've had?
I don't need those recited back to me, especially not when there's someone
I
else.
I want to own an Airbnb where the pillows do that.
Now, is it reciting other people's dreams? Any person who's slept on there?
Yeah.
Because then you hear one and you're like, oh God, who the
fuck was here?
Who had that dream?
And then you hear yours and you're like, all right, it's on par.
That's fair.
That's fair. All right. Patch note 14.0.3. Every escalator has been upgraded to occasionally say "wee" when in motion.
Absolutely. That's first off, escalators, they're like moderately fun. But that takes them up to the next level. That takes them
occasionally you get on each year.
Yeah. Whee! And the thing is, what's fun about it is you don't know when it's going to come. You don't know if it's every once in a while.
It doesn't happen all the time. It's completely randomized.
If I was just on the escalator and all of a sudden I heard that, I'd laugh my ass off.
I'd be scared at first, especially if I was not by myself, and then be like, oh, it's just the escalator.
I'd also be if I was just walking somewhere near an escalator and I heard that, I'm like, oh, I want to go ride the escalator.
You see a Wii, you're like, either there's a child nearby or this place has an escalator.
Oh, I didn't know this place had an escalator. Good to note.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, next patch note. Your reflection now gives daily affirmations, but only in rhyming couplets.
It's a great patch. I think more people, because I was like, could that get annoying? But no, it's not. If it's affirmations, if it's telling you how great you are, and like you need to believe in you, I think for people's mental health, it is super necessary, and I will take 2 of those.
There you go.
I think it's a great.
Good morning,
patch.
Justin. Get ready for a start. Before you go to work, get out all your farts. You know.
See, that would brighten my morning up. I'd be like, you know what? Good call.
You're right.
And
I should get all those out.
I would go just like that.
And then he just smiles and fades away.
Yeah.
You're no longer your reflection fades away. That's right. Very good.
Yep.
Okay, next one. Streetlights now adjust brightness based on how dramatic your walk is.
Oh, a million percent yes. That's fantastic. Anything, we all want a way to make ourselves be the star of our own film, right? Like everyone's the star of their story, the hero in their story. And if the streetlights adjusted, if you could parallel park and then walk like a badass and that song's playing, pair those two together and you got yourself a little night downtown.
Headstrong to take you up.
It's got to be trapped.
Yeah,
you just parallel park and then
you're like, yeah.
Woo! Oh my God.
All right, I got 3 more here.
These are great. Okay.
All right, next patch. Pizza toppings can now be customized mid-bite using voice commands.
Ooh, pizza toppings can be customized mid-bite.
So you take a bite of pizza, you're like, I want blue cheese and pepperoni. And it changes, and then you bite.
Well, first off, I'd never order that. So you lost me.
Why do we even fucking talk, Justin? Why do we even do this?
So, okay, so it's not mid-bite like you're taking a bite, like, pepperoni and blue cheese, and then your bite changes. It's like
the way I interpret
slice
it
is the next bite.
Is like as you bite, it's like mid-bite. You're like, all right, I want it to be this. And then you bite.
And you can bite. Okay,
changes.
got it.
Yeah.
No, that's a great hack. That's an absolute great hack because nothing says you have to use it. I'd say that patch is because there's times where I'd be like, I'll eat one slice of pizza and be like, that was good, but you know what? Maybe I was like, I was between 2 pizzas when I ordered. You order one and then you can.
You know what I do?
Want.
It would probably ruin the pizza industry because you're like, I just want cheese.
Give me cheese. Yeah.
I just want cheese. Give me the cheapest pizza.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Well, you know what they do? They would have to be like,
if
you want to enable this hack, you have to buy the deluxe pizza package, and it's going to be like $70 for the pizza.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what it would be. Capitalism.
It becomes a 1% thing. It becomes a class thing.
Oh,
you just get one topping. I customize it with every bite.
I think it's a great patch. I can't see a downside. Cool. Do you see a downside?
We just talked about the downside of becoming a capitalist, anathema, to our beings.
Look at you with the words.
That's right. I fucking said it. All right. Next one.
Someone has word a day toilet paper.
You can now roll for initiative before any awkward conversation.
Yes. 100% yes. Because here's the thing. If it goes poorly, that's even more fun. I sit in uncomfortable and it's so for me, this would be a dream come true.
I love that this thing thinks whether it's going to be an awkward conversation. I mean, sometimes Sometimes
true.
But a lot of times you don't. But if you're like, this is going to be awkward, roll for initiative.
I would
put up your dukes.
I would spin it and say like any conversation. Period. Let's just up the ante.
Let's just get aggressive.
This was what patch was this?
This is 14.0.9.
Okay, 14.0.9.1. It's a sub patch. We're just going to make it every conversation now.
I love it. All right, last one.
All right.
Last one here. Plants now whisper unsolicited life advice once per week.
I don't know why I really like this one.
The idea of plants just whispering.
He's like, they're like, diversify your portfolio.
You should buy gold right now.
CDs are an underrated investment.
You should.
It's
you
all.
should put
I
your
don't know why it's
finger-
all financial for us.
That's why I was like, gonna go. You should finger your butthole while you jerk off.
So
We just went all
So
financial.
the-
We just assume you buy crypto. You know.
boats are a depreciating asset. So is this?
You
just
should
what-
make sure to use those mushrooms before they go bad.
I'm going to say this is horrible because think about how many how many plants there are versus how many people are, because you're not just hearing the ones whispering to you. You're hearing every time you're. So you go to a botanic garden, that's ruined, right?
Well, you don't
Forget
know.
that.
It's once per week, so they're on a 7-day cool down. So you don't know which ones are firing off when.
Well, but a botanic garden, you at least your statistics.
Odds are, the more
Odds
plants
are.
you're on, you're going to hear something.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Yeah.
and also, like, what kind of life advice? We don't know it's true
Right.
or helpful.
That's
It's
true,
just
yeah.
be like, you know what I
I
mean?
just think that would create so much unnecessary noise. It would ruin so many things. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to just be sitting in my backyard and just having my tree whispering.
Does each blade of grass count as a plant?
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
Right, exactly. Or is it one organism? No, that's
Right,
a horrible patch. Fire the developers.
Love it. I love it. Awesome. Thank you. I have more, but I've learned from past. I'm gonna save for a potential.
Amazing.
I want to play this again.
Oh, this
So,
was more fun. I didn't know how this was gonna go. This ended up being more fun. I was like, this could go one of two ways, but this was.
Yeah.
I like this game. This is good.
there's some good stuff. So
Very good.
good stuff. Very fun. Justin, what do you have to recommend this week?
I'm gonna recommend the movie Biosphere. It's on.
Okay.
It's
Was that
on.
the Pauly Shore?
No, that's Biodome.
Oh, my bad.
That's
My
Biodome.
bad.
I was gonna specify.
I'm like, well, you know,
This is with Mark Duplass and Sterling K. Brown. Mel Estes,
like both of them.
yeah, or Mel
never heard of
Estlin
this.
rather. She directed it and wrote it with Mark. And it's the thing I think is awesome about it's on Hulu right now. The thing I think is awesome about this is it's an hour and a half or an hour and whatever, hour and 47 minutes. It's two guys and fish in one location. And they made you interested in the story. And it's weird. Don't get me wrong. It takes a turn that you're like, wow, didn't see that coming. Where are we going with this? But it's a fucking, I think it's a cool movie. And again, as an indie filmmaker, I think you look at this and you say, cool, you don't need a giant budget and a giant, 200 people and a giant action sequences and this and that. You can make something interesting by containing and keeping it small. This is a really cool case study for how to do indie film. So I would recommend watching Biosphere.
Not surprised with Mark Duplass. He's
Right.
he's the king of the indie stuff. So
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown is a phenomenal actor. So
I would watch anything that man is in.
Yeah.
Hard stop.
he's great.
Yeah. So what do you
He's
got,
great.
Doug?
I'd recommend Love, Death, and Robots season 4, available now on Netflix.
Okay.
That whole series is an anthology of short films, ranging from like 6 minutes to like 18 minutes, and they're all just self-contained short stories. Some of them most of them are sci-fi and involve some sort of science fiction, but some of them are a little fantasy-based and things like that. Many of them are dark, very dark. Some of them are very silly and very fun and unique. All different animation styles. Some of them are live action, but it's fantastic. I've gone back and rewatched some of the episodes, and they just constantly blow my mind for capturing such a unique concept and telling a story in a short amount of time. I think is a real art form.
Nice.
And I love it when it's animated and it's creative. So go check it out. It's available now. Same people who did Secret Level on Amazon Prime. From the
Nice.
same
Oh,
creators who
nice.
did that
Okay.
Same thing. So they know what they're fucking doing, bruv.
No.
Cool. Gang, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. If you could do us a solid, if you're watching us on YouTube, youtube.com/mindgappodcast, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Those are the easiest ways to support us that cost you nothing. And it's a big deal to us. We are 3 subs away from 500. We'd like to set a goal, 500 subs by episode 500. help us get to that 500 mark. We'd really, really appreciate it. We're so close to that.
And we have a very special 500th episode planned for all you knuckleheads.
Y'all don't know. We actually are. We're putting some effort into this.
We are.
We're doing something in person, and we got some stuff cooking for episode 500. So I think it's going to be really, really fun. So stay tuned for that. But please, help support us. Watch our shit, like our shit, subscribe to our shit, and comment on our shit. We'd appreciate it. And then check the links in the description for links to our Discord. We're very active with our community. Our community is very active with us. Come join the community. You can be part of the show with your comments and things like that. Also find links to our merch and at Redbubble, and also links to our Patreon in that subscription as well. You can follow Justin online as well.
On Instagram at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, wherever you find and consume audio podcasts, guess what? You can find us there as well. So go ahead, subscribe, rate, review, download, do whatever the things it says that you can do. All those things. Listen, that's a big one. But then share us. Let someone know that we exist. Say, hey, I like this show. I think you'd like it too. We cannot begin to tell you how far that goes. So thank you in advance for that. TwoEastEighth.com, 2EastEighth on all social media. Love an Improv Film and Love an Improv Film on loveanimprovfilm.com. Love an Improv Film on Instagram. And also, if you want to invest in a movie, let me know. Please. We need to get this fucking thing made.
Well, with that, I'll say, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Listeners, viewers, thank you. And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.